Think you're free? Think again. Have you ever stopped and really thought about what it means to be free? I'm not talking about the freedom we hear about in the news. No, I mean real freedom. The kind that people crave but never truly seem to have. You think you're free? Well, think again. Because what if I told you the freedom you feel isn't as real as you think? Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like you're trapped but you can't figure out why? Maybe you're going through the motions, living your life, but deep down there's something that just doesn't sit right. You have the job, the house, the friends, all the things you thought would make you free. And yet something's missing. Why do you think that is? See, this is the trick. The thing they don't tell you. Society has a funny way of teaching us what freedom looks like. It shows us the shiny things, the new car, the vacation, the big paycheck. It tells us that once we get all that, we'll be free. But is that really freedom? Here's the reality. It's all a lie. Now, I know what you're thinking. What do you mean? Isn't that what success looks like? Yeah, it's what success looks like to them. But let me tell you something. Success is just a form of control. The moment you start to play by their rules, you're no longer free. You're trapped in a system designed to keep you stuck. But how many of us even realize it? We're so busy chasing that next goal, the next level, that we forget to stop and ask ourselves, what am I really chasing? Let's take a step back. Let me tell you a story. A few years ago, there was this guy. He was living the dream. Big house, fancy car, designer clothes. From the outside, he had everything you could ever want. He was living the American dream, or whatever version of it you want to call it. People looked at him and thought, this guy's got it made, but here's the kicker. He was miserable, I'll tell you why. It wasn't because he didn't have the things. It was because he was living for them. He thought that if he could just get more, do more, he'd be happy. He thought he'd be free. But the more he got, the more he felt chained to the system. The more money he made, the more taxes he paid. The more attention he got, the more pressure he felt. The more friends he had, the more fake they seemed. He was stuck. He was living his life based on someone else's idea of freedom. Does that sound familiar? You see, the truth is, freedom isn't about what you own. It's not about how many followers you have or how big your paycheck is. It's not about the stuff you can buy or the places you can go. It's about who you are when all of that is stripped away. It's about the freedom to be yourself, without the weight of other people's expectations. But guess what? Most of us don't even know what that looks like. Here's the thing. What if you were told that real freedom starts with understanding how you're being controlled in the first place? That's right. Real freedom comes from the awareness of the systems, the beliefs, and the habits that are holding you back. They're subtle, these little traps. But trust me, they're everywhere. For example, have you ever felt like you were constantly on the go but never really getting anywhere? That's because you're operating on autopilot. You're stuck in the routine. You get up, go to work, come home, scroll through your phone, sleep, and repeat. Over and over. Day after day. You're not in control. You're a part of the system. And that's exactly how they want it. But here's the part that's going to change everything for you. What if the secret to real freedom wasn't about breaking out of the system? What if the key to freedom was about breaking into something deeper, something more powerful than the daily grind? What if freedom was about choosing a path that actually aligns with who you are? What if it was about getting out of the cycle of chasing things that don't bring you peace? Here's where things get interesting. Some of the most successful people in the world, the ones who truly understand what freedom is, didn't follow the traditional path. They didn't play by the rules. They found a way to step outside the game entirely. Take Elon Musk, for example. The guy didn't just go with the flow. He saw the world differently. He didn't settle for the corporate life. Instead, he built his own reality. He broke free from the script, and now look where he is. But here's the part they won't tell you. Elon didn't just get lucky. He understood something about freedom that most people don't. He understood that the real chains aren't external. They're internal. The thoughts, beliefs, and habits that keep us stuck. And guess what? You can do the same thing. The first step to real freedom is understanding that the system isn't out there. It's inside you. It's in your mindset. It's in the way you've been conditioned to think about success, happiness, and life. Here's the thing. Society doesn't want you to think for yourself. It doesn't want you to question the way things are. It wants you to play the game, to stay in your lane, to follow the rules. Because when you're playing by their rules, you're controllable. But if you stop and take a moment to ask yourself, what do I really want? If you dig deep and find out what truly brings you joy, you'll see the truth. You don't have to live like this. You don't have to stay trapped in this system. You can break free. And no, it's not going to be easy. It's going to take work. It's going to take a shift in how you think, how you live, and how you see the world. But once you make that shift, once you break free from the chains that hold you down, there's no going back. So what's stopping you? What's holding you back from taking control of your own life? You think you're free, but you're not. Not yet, but you can be. If you're ready to break the chains, to step into your true power, it all starts with one decision. Will you choose freedom, or will you keep playing by someone else's rules? The choice is yours.